Okay, I wanted to go over the different widget areas in the theme. So by default, you'll get your theme, and it's a small footer, and that's just because there's no widgets selected in the footer. If you go to any pages, the sidebar is empty. Same with the blog. So let's just dive into the widgets and start adding some things so you can get your footer. So all these widgets are under appearance widgets, and you'll notice that all of these areas are named nicely for you, so it's pretty self-explanatory. So let's start off with the footer, and these are your available widgets, and you just drag them over. So for instance, these are our social widgets. Oh. And this is what I used in the live preview. So we'll save that, and we can refresh our page now, and you'll notice that our footer now has the actual big footer this time. And to add or subtract social widgets, to control that is under theme options, under social settings. So if we wanted our email address or our Facebook link, you do so here, and you have your control over them right there. If you don't want it, you just delete that. So we'll refresh it, and you'll notice that we have email and Facebook now. Really easy. So that's the social widget that we added right there. And in this description, you can add HTML. So that's how I added that image. It was just a logo that I added as an image URL, and then text underneath it. And you don't necessarily need a title. Play around with these widgets, you get the idea. So footer widget 2. So let's go ahead and just add the Twitter feed that we have built in. I'm going to go ahead and use Envato. You can just type in your own Twitter ID. I'm going to add 2 tweets to show. Let's refresh that. And we've got a recent Twitter feed. Oh. And let's go into footer widget number 3. Let's add our Flickr. Flickr's a little bit different. You've got to go to your ID getter, and then type in your ID that you need, and then it gives it to you. You copy the ID. You can close ID getter, paste it in there, and save it. We now have our Flickr photos, and then in our 4th footer widget, let's just go ahead and type in our meta. Refresh it. And that's all you need to do to add the footer widgets. It's super easy to do. As you saw, you can download plugins from WordPress and add them if you wanted to do. And all these plugins, all these widgets work in there if you wanted to add a search bar or whatever. So, or just straight text. So the other cool thing you can do is you can change the amount of columns in the footer, and that's under theme options, under appearance. And if you go to number of footer columns, let's say instead of 4 we wanted 3 columns. Let's go to save these options. We now have 3 columns instead of 4. And you can do the same thing for 2 or 1 column. And it's just pretty handy if you wanted to have just a single, or however you wanted to have set up for your footer, you have full control over. So that's the footer widgets.